on day 20, you're really getting progesterone, and progesterone's coming in a massive way. And progesterone chills us out. When it hits its peak, that causes the uterine lining to shed. So what you did, this is create an oil called I Am Still. And I just want to say that I love the affirmation oils. When I went to name the different cycles, I wanted them to really have a name that embodied what the vibration you would step into. And so in the week before our period, we not only need glucose to be higher, we not only are more insulin resistant, we're not only more inner, but we need to chill out. Like, we should not be doing a lot of things. So when I got I Am Still, the first thing I got to just tell you is I smelt it and I was like, oh, there's lavender in there. I tried to actually smell these before and guess what was in them, like a sommelier, like an essential oil sommelier. But then I was like, okay, wait, there's something else in here that is making me really calm. Now, for a menopausal woman to tell you that something made her calm, that's like the biggest compliment on the planet. So talk about the other key oil you put in here that might be my favorite, and I probably should take a bath in it. So talk about the oil you paired with lavender.
Let's go back to this volume piece that we introduced in the beginning, because like you said, we want to be still. And you talked about frequencies, and essential oils are affected by intention because they're an energetic modality, as they'll never be a pharmaceutical. When we try and treat them like a pharmaceutical, it just doesn't work out right, because they're not that. They're not supposed to be. And the beauty of this is we bring in the lavender, and lavender has been shown, like I mentioned before, to be so helpful in engaging the parasympathetic, but at the same time, it also can help with both emotional and physical stressors. And when we bring in vetiver, is arguably the most complex oil on the market. It is a root. It is a root. It gets down deep. It grows quickly. The root system is massive. And so when we get this root system and we go back to this concept of through small and simple things are great things brought to pass, there's not one major constituent in vetiver that just outshines the rest. It's all 0.01% here, 0.1% here. And it embodies a true dream team of essential oils and constituents. But what it then does, because it pulls so much from the soil, is great for things like nervous exhaustion. It's great for chronic just challenges with stress and adrenals. And at the same time, some aromatherapists, some clinical aromatherapists will talk about this idea of progesterone and the ability for vetiver to help manage that. And so again, it's not creating it, but we go back to the book and we go back to the comments of DHEA. We need that to be where it needs to be so that progesterone can thrive. And so this oil, when I was blending it, I had 5 oils in mind, and I just felt strongly simplify, simplify, simplify.
Yep.
And that's how we came up with I Am Still. They go well together because, again, lavender is a blend enhancer. But why they go well is because vetiver enhances what lavender already does well. Amazing. That's what the beauty of it. So this is what we mean by truly synergistic. And when we can create a blend that 1 + 1 = 11, I believe that's what these two do so well together.
And you know what? It's such a compliment, again, to the other 2 oils, because if we go through the cycle and we look at the cycle and we look at the modern world we're in, there's a lot of estrogen imbalances because of toxins in the pituitary. And so you've created that in I Am Strong of nourishing the pituitary. There's so many women that are struggling with ovulation because of gut dysbiosis and overload on the liver. And then we've got I Am Restored to support that. And when we come into that week before our period, it's really, I'm just going to say as a woman, I am so grateful for this oil because we're supposed to slow down that week. But yet we live in a world, in a patriarchal society that doesn't say, oh, it's the week before your period. Go ahead and take a few days off. You should probably sit on the couch and watch Netflix and eat some pizza. No, the world that we live in, especially if you're in a driver corporate job, is produce. And that is really affecting our progesterone levels. So I'm thinking, and tell me what you think on this, is that if I'm in that driver role, I have to really perform and produce in a day. When I get home at the end of that day, I would want to lather myself up with I am still to rebalance my hormones out. Can we use it that way?
That is accurate, because too often when we start to drag, we think stimulate, 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 stimulate.
Right.
And the body needs a break. It just needs a break. That's all it needs, is the matriarchal moment of relax. And that is a perfect, and that's actually how I use it.